welcome to the very first homebrewing episode on this channel. Woo! First of all, I kind of want to give a vague disclaimer. This is a hobby that I'm still learning. We've been doing it for about 2.5 years, but I'm not going to pretend that I'm any form of professional in this. So for methods like creating beer and wine from the raw materials, I'm not that kind of expert yet. If I do actually learn how to make it with those methods, I will share with you guys. But for now, I kind of consider myself to be kind of a happy amateur at this, who's going along a journey of exploration into the world of homebrewing. I also want to point out that this is a channel which does not promote any form of binge drinking. Certainly in the UK, we kind of have this bit of a culture where people like to get smashed on a Saturday night. And whilst I'm not going to put any judgments on people's choices, I'm certainly the kind of person who wants to promote responsible drinking. I'm not going to say don't drink. After all, why the hell am I doing a homebrew part of this? However, I hope that within this channel you'll see the sheer pleasure of just making the alcohol as well as the drinking of it. So with that whole vague, really vague disclaimer out of the way, the first question that people always ask me when I say I do homebrewing is, what is homebrewing? Wikipedia, the big font of knowledge, has said it is a small scale brewing of beer, mead, wine, perry, cider, sake for some reason, which is a hobby for non-commercial use. So what we mean is it's not for sale. Depending on what country you live in, there will be restrictions on the sale and possibly the making of the alcohol in your house. For the specific area that you live in, I would suggest actually looking into what the restrictions are. But for the United Kingdom, there is no legal restriction on how much beer, wine, cider, things like that you can make for personal use. In order to actually sell it, however, you need to be registered with the Revenue and Customs in our country. And for actual distillation, which I won't go into this channel because I don't make spirits like rum, vodka, stuff like that. But if you actually are intending to distill, certainly in the UK you need to have a license to do it. So yeah, homebrew is all about making primarily beer and wine. The second question I normally get asked is, what have I made so far? Now you might see on my channel that I'm linked to a channel called MakingLARPs, which happens to be my wife's channel. And she's posted, I think there's at least one video of wine that we've made. I'll point out, I made that wine, she filmed it. Okay, rant over. So we've made various forms of real ale. We've made raspberry beer and we've got cherry beer on the way. We tried to make cider from a kit, that didn't turn out too well. I didn't realise actually at the time that really you should be making cider straight from apple juice. We've made various wines, elderflower, elderberry, cherry. I will point out with these particular wines, we've made them with grape juice as the base. We haven't made it from straight fruit juice. We've also made quite a lot of mead. Mead, if you don't know what it is, Google it. It's one of the oldest drinks ever made. We currently have a dark ale on the go as well as a cherry. We've also used fruit to make infused mead. We tried raspberry and that worked really well. When we did cherry, that was a different matter. We've also used vodkas to make various different infused vodkas. For example, Skittles vodkas using the Skittles sweets. Becca's also done a liqueur called 44 that involves having orange and coffee beans for some weird reason. And we made raspberry rum as well, which was quite cool. So I've covered what homebrewing is, the vague disclaimer, and also what I've made so far. People do ask me after that, I don't know why they ask it in that order, but they're just weird. Why do I actually choose to homebrew? Some people get quite scared of the cost of it. However, the main cost involved in homebrewing, I think, actually is the starting equipment that you can get and the kits that you buy. It actually ends up being a lot cheaper than store-bought stuff, and arguably better. Once you've got the equipment in your house, as long as you're taking good care of it, it should last quite a long time. Making a batch of beer for a party, I found, has been really good to share with friends. We also go to live action roleplay festivals in the summer, and our in-character group has a pub in which we have our beer in. Now, we don't sell the beer to anyone, but we found that sharing the beer that we've made with friends and fellow players has been really enjoyable. We've also made wine for people for gifts for Christmas, which anyone who makes gifts for birthdays, Christmas, any form of celebration can tell you how nice it is to add that personal touch for people. And it's fun to make alcohol. I don't actually drink that much anymore, but to actually make alcohol for all the different steps in the process that you do, depending on which thing you're trying to make, it has been really fun to learn. People say some bits that get really boring, like having to sterilise all the equipment and things like that, but you know, they're very important parts of the process. So what do I actually want to show in episodes about homebrewing? Firstly, I'm going to be doing an episode on the basic equipment you'll need to start up. I'll also be going into the big do's and don'ts, the rules that you really can't afford to not listen to. I'll do some instructional videos of me and maybe the wife making various things. So things like making beer, wine, cider, if I actually get round to making cider properly this time. I'll be doing things like infusions and cocktails and mocktails. And I'll trial some recipes that you guys would like to suggest, be it any homebrew kits that you can recommend or cocktail recipes. So my questions for you guys are there any specific homebrew recipes that you want me to try and make and show you how to make? For anyone who has actually done homebrewing, are there any good and bad experiences you want to share? And finally, are there any cocktails that you've created that you would like me to trial on this show? And obviously I'll credit to you guys and maybe make you some shinies as a prize. As always, leave any comments that you want to make. Feel free to like, share, subscribe. Check out the Facebook page. And coming up next will be the equipment video. Woo!